Good evening. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. The Champions League is back again, and it's going to be an epic week. There is going to be excitement, euphoria, tears, crying, ranting. Hashtag somebody out is coming at some point. There's no doubt about it. We've got a great panel for you tonight. I'm going to introduce them in a few moments' time, but smash the like button. Smash the living daylights out of it. Subscribe, turn on the bell notifications. Big shout out to our title sponsors, Manscaped. You can still get 20% off of all their male grooming products right now by using promo code TFT. Let's get you introduced. Let's get you introduced to the panel tonight. First member, fresh trim. Lockdown is over. Fresh trim. Look at that, man. Like David. And by the way, that iron hasn't moved since you've been home. Tries to make it look like he's he's domesticated, but that iron hasn't moved for a man like David. Next up, he's got the most famous curtain on YouTube. It's man like Daniel in the house doing his thing. Speaking of trims, this guy's hair has looked the same throughout the whole of lockdown. We were hoping he was going to cut it off, but he hasn't done it. It's man like Jem in the house, looking slick. Essex boys are us. Finally, Monstar, by the way, is coming. He'll be here later. He's got a family errand to run. He'll be here. Now, we have got the future presenter of Match of the Day on with us tonight. It's Anita in the house. What is going on? Welcome, one and all. How are we doing?
Not bad. Good.
There is a comment straight away for Anita actually saying, "Is Anita single?"
I am.
She is. Yeah.
If you want to take me out, just let me know. If food.
There we go, sir. Hit up the DMs. Share the bank balance. That's important. It very much is. I tell my daughter too. I keep telling her that. She said, "Oh, my friend Jack at school." I'm like, "Is his parents rich?" She's like, "What?" She's going, "His parents rich. Go out of him. If not, then stay away. Stay away." But Chelsea, what a night tomorrow. What an exciting night. For me, I'm a neutral. I've got no dog in the fight. I'm just excited for all these games. How are you all feeling ahead of this big knockout tie, Anita?
I'm confident, you know. No, I'm actually pretty confident. I think if we lose tomorrow, as in if we get knocked out of the tie completely tomorrow, you guys need to drag me here because I feel like this will be the first stream where I don't show my face if we lose. Like, other than that, I'm really confident. I think we'll probably still get the win. I think we'll probably get, 2 or 3 goals. I'm really confident that we're going to get a couple goals. I'm not sure if Porto can, I don't know if they can penetrate our defense. They tried really hard. And of course, their 2 top goal scorers are coming back. Fair enough. But I just don't see them coming back from it. And Tuchel, he's a tactical master genius, whatever we want to call him. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident, man. I'm sure everyone else here is confident.
How about yourself, Jem? You're kind of the pessimist in many ways about Chelsea's form under Tuchel. No matter how well you do, you're like, yeah, but we might lose the next game. How are you feeling, mate? You must be confident. You're a better team than Porto, front to back, better manager, more experienced at this level. You must be confident.
Yeah, you have to be with a 2-0 lead, but at the same time, games can change very quickly and it only takes a second to score a goal. So if we go into the first 5 minutes of the game and Porto are 1-0 up, that's going to leave us very edgy going into the rest of the game. And I think we need to be solid. I expect certain players to play tomorrow. I expect certain individuals to be dropped. I'm not going to say their names yet because I know it's going to start a roar once I do say it. But honestly, I'm confident. I am confident, and I believe in what we got. Even with the 2 top goal scorers back, I think we'll be able to get the job done, providing we play the players that I think we need to play. More so.
And we'll get onto that a little bit later as well. David, from your point of view, fresh haircut. Looking slick. I know it looks good. It's good. I know you're only halfway through. You've told us there's going to be a big surprise for the viewers in the next day or so when the gym is finished, bro. It looks good. How about you, though, mate? Because, again, you're not pessimistic about the team. You love Tuchel, my German manager, and all that jazz, right? But, like, when it comes to certain players, you're always a bit downbeat as well. You're never sort of fully into the we're Chelsea, we're back kind of mentality. How are you feeling ahead of tomorrow night? And what's the most important thing to guard against?
I'm confident of winning because 2-0, 2 away goals is always going to make you feel confident. Can I see them scoring 2? Yes. Can I see them scoring 2 with no reply? No. Like, if they score 2, we'll probably score 2 as well. They're going to have to change up the way that they normally play because we know that they're quite a defensive first team. And as we saw in the first leg, we are good on the counter, especially with players like Werner and Havertz who do have a turn of pace on them. The thing that we have to be careful of is the new players coming in. It is literally a mirror of what we did last round. It's good first leg, second leg, new players are coming back in. All their better players are coming back in. We just need to be more prepared for it, and I think we will be. I just think in the first day, in the first couple of minutes, we kind of were like, oh, it's Porto, it's fine. It's Porto, we'll beat them. And then we kind of were like, whoa, they can actually play. And then once it turned serious and players started playing, then that's when the real class showed and we took the 2 goals. So, yeah, I'm confident.
I hear that. Daniel, as David mentioned, they've got Taremi and Oliveira returning from suspension for this game, 2 of their best performers and high goal scorers in the Champions League this season. Is that a concern for you? You concede an early goal. They've got these players returning. Are you worried about a wobble, or do you think what Tuchel's a master at controlling games and tempos?
Yeah, I mean, I have faith in Tuchel to set the team up. I think it would be a mistake for any Chelsea fan to think that there isn't still a bit of complacency in our squad. That comes from certain players. That comes from the culture, the unspoken culture of the club, where we can just bug out and have a performance that just isn't reflective of the quality of the team. So the complacency definitely is there. One thing I will say is Tuchel fills us with a lot of confidence in the fact that he believes that he will set out his team to get the job done. And if the team doesn't get it right, then ultimately it's because the team haven't performed to what he wanted them to do. After the West Brom defeat, he literally came out and said, this will never happen again. Like he said, he said it with his chest, and he said, this won't happen again. I was rattled, I was surprised, but this won't happen again. I know what was wrong. And that's that same confidence that he has is the confidence that I have. I do think that the squad, yes, might have a little bit of complacency left in them, and that comes through just new transfer windows, buying new players to ultimately create a new culture. But all in all, I'm not too worried about what Porto are doing. It's more about us. If we're not complacent, we will be fine. Like, do you know what I'm saying? We won't lose. Bigger fish to fry.
What do you think has to happen though? We move on to players that want to be picked here. Jem, you've already mentioned it. What personnel are important to ensuring that complacency doesn't seep in?
Experienced players, in my eyes. I think Thiago Silva has to come in. I know a lot of people might say Christensen should start. He has no. Don't get me wrong. There's no reason why he shouldn't really, when you base it upon his performances and the way he's been playing. But for me, Thiago Silva needs to come in for this game. N'Golo Kante should also come into this game. For me, I think we need legs. I think in the first half against Porto, we struggled. I think they were piercing us open through the middle, and I'm not blaming it on just Jorginho because Kovacic was there as well. I know people think I've got a Jorginho thing here, but it's not. I just think Kante. I think we need legs. So for me, it'd be Kante and Thiago Silva that has to play. They're the main 2 for me, Aspie, and then the rest. Yeah, not too much fuss, but they're the 2.
And Anita, from your perspective, who needs to stay out of this team? Who are you going to be frustrated by if Tuchel starts them? Who would be that weak link that needs to stay out of this starting lineup?
I don't know. I've got a few. Not everyone's gonna like. Everyone's gonna like it, and not everyone agrees with my opinions or whatever. But people that are, calling for Tammy Abraham. I'm not gonna say Pulisic, by the way, so everyone can just keep their mouth shut. People are calling for Tammy Abraham to start. I don't know what you're expecting. I don't know why you think Tammy Abraham deserves to start. I think he needs to stay away from this game as much as possible. This game will require pace. It will require hold-up play and probably a lot of set pieces from us that he probably won't get on the end of. So he needs to stay away, in my opinion. Sorry, my alarm started going off. Yeah, he needs to stay away, in my opinion. I think Alonso. Now that Ben Chilwell is kind of grasping that wing back role, I don't want no pity start of Alonso. I don't need. Fam,
don't
you
need
know
us
what I
now.
mean? You know what I mean? Like everyone's forgetting that Alonso's still in this. Like I don't want to see him start. I'm kind of with Jem as well. Oh my God, Lewis, forgive me, but I'm kind of with Jem on the Christensen type of flex as well. Like we know what Christensen is like in big games. Like we know. So I'm trying to say let's stay away from that and let's not risk it and let's bring Thiago Silva back in, get some experience because I feel like for the most part of the game. Yeah, of course, Tuchel loves to, retain possession, etc., etc. But we will be on the back end because they're going to come at us, and we're going to need someone who's experienced and someone who knows how to make the right clearances at the right time. And people will probably say, "But Thiago's too old." Blah blah blah. They've got Pepe on their end making flipping world-class flipping clearances. Thiago Silva can be our Pepe if we're being serious. So yeah, no, those are my only three that need to stay away from starting at all.
I think, just as a quick addition to that, I agree with everything you said. One thing I would like to see, which I don't think will happen, but one thing I'd actually like to see is the same front three that started on Saturday. It was Saturday. Start again, so Kai Mount and Pulisic. I just for the sake of continuity, because one of the things that has been a struggle for our team this season is getting the same players playing in the same lineup and that fluidity. Like, remember when we played Burnley and we thought, yeah, that's the team. We looked fluid, we looked so efficient, and then someone got injured. I think Ziyech and Havertz Havertz got COVID, Ziyech got injured. Then they struggled to get back into form, and it's taken so long for us to get to this stage now where we've seen a performance where we're like, wow. So I just want to see the same front three. I don't think it will happen, but I just want to see the same front three because it works so well.
I agree with you, Daniel.
I
I think he should. And if you're winning, then you can make the substitutions. If you're losing, you might need to change it anyway. Give it sort of 55, 60 minutes and maybe make a few substitutions.
Yeah.
Get it ready for of course, you've got a big weekend coming up as well. We'll be previewing that on Thursday here on the Football Terrace. Big semi-final weekend for Chelsea. Give it another go. Give it a 50, 60-minute workout together again ahead of the big game against Manchester City.
I don't agree, I think I want to see Werner start in this game because I think, do you know what, right? I was watching some Porto games, right? Because I thought, flipping, I'm not going to come on here without knowing my shit like last time. But anyway, I was watching some Porto games back. I was some games back and I've noticed when they do go on the back foot, they play such a high line, and if we can get in behind, Chilwell got in behind that high line. Who was it in Juventus that just kept getting in behind their high line?
Chiesa.
Kept getting in behind their high line as well, and it's like if Werner, I know people say no, not Werner, but at the end of the day, Werner can also square it like he's been doing lately, because that's not a 9 anymore. But he can also do that too, especially if Werner up top, Pulisic left. I would love to see that happen.
I agree. And you know what? Just to touch on that, before you said it, and it is exactly what I was going to say. Timo Werner needs to play this game for me. I just think when you got to bear in mind, we're leading this game. So we ain't really got any much impotence to come out and go and score goals. Yes, we need to be compact and solid, which we can make sure we do with the two pivots and then the three at the back, whoever he plays within that. But moving forward, I think they're going to play such a high line that I think that Timo Werner, we've seen it against Liverpool, we've seen it against teams that like playing high lines. If there's space behind, that's his game. So it's that kind of game where I think we might soak it up a bit. I don't think we'll change the way we play too much. I think we'll try and dominate the ball, hold the ball. I think that's just what we know. But with Timo Werner as an outlay to make runs into space behind the defence, I think he would be the perfect addition to tomorrow's game, 100%.
It's good to see Chelsea fans still backing him. And listen, there's part of me that would love to see Timo Werner do it. I see his face sometimes, and I just feel a bit sorry for him. That's the football fan in me. The Man United fan in me says absolutely not. Start and stink it out, mate. Do you know what I mean? I want no rival fan wants Tammy to come good. Sorry, not Tammy. Timo to come good. That would be a madness.
Tammy has come good, and this is his level. So Tottenham, have him.
Can you imagine? Harry Kane swap deal. Harry Kane swap deal. Tammy.
Harry.
In terms of your midfield, a few people in the comments saying that Kovacic is injured. I'm not too sure if that's been confirmed by Chelsea or not. But who starts in that double pivot? It will be a double pivot. There's no doubt about it. Who would you start in that, David?
Well, it will be Kante on one of the other two. That for me, like they both have advantages and disadvantages. So if we want to play the let's hold the ball as long as we can for most of the game and restrict them, then play Jorginho. If you want to have we can sit in and defend and then break away using Kovacic's dribbling, we can play. But Kante is the essential, like has to play. That no question. Because when he came on in that second leg, suddenly the game went from being a tennis match to just every time they got near us, bang, Kante was involved. Just he is literally two men on the pitch. He literally will cover two spaces for you. It's so helpful.
The journalist for me, I think one of the viewers actually, two people just messaged me. Basically, one of the Chelsea journalists has just said that Kovacic is out at tomorrow's game. So
yeah, there's a Sky Sports journalist who tweeted it saying N'Golo Kante will start. Kovacic is out tomorrow. He literally tweeted that sort of 4 or 5 minutes ago. I've seen that. So, well, that probably makes it. That means it's going to be Kante and
Billy Gilmore.
Kante and Gilmore. What?
Kante and Billy
You
Gilmore.
gave Gilmore the
What about
minutes to
Kante
be
and
better than
Mason Mount?
Jorginho.
Like, what about
No,
Kante and Mason
no,
Mount?
no.
Why?
Let's not do this. Let
Why
us
not?
not do this.
Did
No,
you not see
okay.
him?
I will, and then I will give Mount his props. Yeah, I will give that to him. But he is not a DM. We do not need to play. I get he's versatile, but that's not one of his positions where we need to be risking things out. No,
But his distribution from a deep line is very good. He'd be
do
able to
that
pick the ball
against
up.
Not better than
Fulham
Jorginho's. It's not better
and
than
Championship and all them, man. Do that at the Championship teams. That's cool. Okay, Gareth, if you want to do
Do that, yeah.
that against, I don't know, who are you going to play? Like, wait, did I just cut out?
You throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty
I
scary.
But I basically said, if you want to do it against the lower level teams, it's fine. Don't do it in Champions League games when we need to just hold the game.
Yeah.
Because Mount loves, he does love his running around, and it will leave gaps. And I'm not sure whether Kante can cover that much space. He's already covering enough.
He does cover a lot. So pretty good lineup, pretty good players you've all looked at. One person that's not been mentioned, and we do need to talk about him because there are reports that he's been, falling out with Tuchel. He's not very happy at Chelsea. I'll go Daniel first on this. Hakim Ziyech, where does he fit tomorrow and with Chelsea going forward, in your opinion?
I think in terms of tomorrow, I don't think look, you know what? Tuchel's always surprised me. If he's in the lineup tomorrow, I would not be surprised at all. But in terms of the grand scheme of things, which I think is the main thing when it comes to Hakim Ziyech, I think he's in trouble. In terms of what Chelsea are trying to do, in terms of the players that could potentially come in and the positions that are obviously available. Like when we talk about Mount and all the other players, Mount, Havertz, Werner, there's a sense of versatility to them, but Ziyech is either a winger that's playing well or a winger that isn't playing well. And if he's not playing well, he can't be in the team. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? Whilst the others, if they're not playing well in one position, you can almost put them in another position and you see them be successful. So that's the problem with Ziyech, and we haven't really seen the best in him. One of the big things I think as well that we have to factor in is that I saw some people mention all the young players that we have in our team, Kai Havertz, and they put Ziyech on the list. I was thinking, Ziyech is in the prime of his career. Like he's going to be 28, 29 next year. And we were expecting to get a ready-made player. And it's actually interesting because I spoke to a Ajax fan who came on the channel, on my channel the other week. And he basically was breaking down the fact that the reason why Ziyech isn't working is it alludes to what Dirk Kuyt was saying, and the fact that Dutch players need about 1 or 2 years to adapt to the Premier League, and that they don't adapt to the Premier League straight away. Players that come from the Eredivisie.
Yeah, literally.
Do you know what's mad? Whenever you say that to an Ollie outer, they give you a look like you've just walked in their house on Christmas Day and pissed on their kids. I swear to you, and you know what I love about hearing that? You are finding that there is something about players from the Dutch that every now and then a player click straight away. Ruud van Nistelrooy would be a prime example. I think Dennis Bergkamp. They're a little different in Bergkamp's era though, because
it even took 2 seasons to adapt before we saw the best.
Yeah, Bergkamp's era was a little different. I felt because their league was amazing back then. Like they were winning Champions Leagues in that era, so
they were.
It was a little different. But it may just take him time. The problem he's got is he's 28 years of age, and how long has he got to adapt and stuff like that? But how about yourself, David? Have you been impressed with him? Are there moments from him? I mean, I remember you. I mean, maybe you or maybe one of the other Chelsea panelists. You basically said look out, Bruno Fernandes. Our stat guy is on his way. Because I had a lot of Chelsea fans telling me.
I know. I remember saying it, but I was like, yeah, he might be Bruno, but I wasn't being serious. I wasn't being serious. However, someone in here did have them as the player of the season. So, yeah, they better hide their face, innit?
That wasn't me.
He's had moments. He's had moments, but when you look at the size of him, you can see why he's so skinny. No offense to the guy, he's so thin. He's like Kai, where it's like you just got to bulk up a bit, and you should be okay. But technically he's fine. There is nothing wrong with him technically. Plus his confidence is really low. So. He's not a bad footballer, but when your confidence is low, you just want it to, go back to the way it was, and that's when you start, miss kicking at Palace and whipping balls in too deep and so on. It's a thing with loads of our players right now where they're just lacking confidence and they're just trying to force it.
Do you know what is, David? It's the fact that he doesn't have the same time that a Kai, Timo, Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi. They have time. They're all under 24. They're not even close to their primes yet. And he's supposed to be the ready-made player. I was even deceived. That run where he was just, I said, he's our magician, he's our guy. It
wasn't just me.
I could even hear it. No, I could hear it. Krasnodar, Sheffield United, Burnley, Newcastle. There was a run of games where he was just almost unplayable, but it just hasn't been the same. So,
but you know what, though, Daniel? You can say that for a number of our players anyway. Let's be serious. Out of all the players that we've signed, the only one that I can really say stood up is Mendy. Let's be serious. Yeah, Kai Havertz hasn't really had the opportunity to do that because of COVID and illnesses. Timo Werner, unfortunately, has just not worked out. Do you know what I mean? Thiago Silva.
Silva's fine. He just hates playing West Brom. He just hates playing West Brom. That's it.
He's been injured, and he's still got a red card against West Brom, and we lost 5. So, you know what I mean? I feel with Hakim Ziyech, we have to, like Timo Werner, we have to give them this season as a pass. And in going into next season, if we have the same issues, then we have to look. It doesn't matter what we think. We know Roman will. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to have players like that just tampering along, in the team. And the other thing as well is we've only got 3 wingers. When you look at it, we've only got Callum Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, and Ziyech as out and out wingers. I don't think there's really enough competition there for them positions in my eyes. But it is what it is.
I suppose the Ziyech thing's also difficult, isn't it? I know he's a little older, so there's less chance of him coming back. But you don't want another KDB Salah situation where they're allowed to go too soon and then click into gear, and you think, he was one of ours. Maybe he gets that second season, but he was so talented over in Holland. But I think they just need a bit more time. They do. I do think it's something that's really underestimated about the English league, just the speed, the velocity, and the power and strength, and the little fouls that you get to do here, which you don't get away with everywhere else. If that makes you see, the Champions League, it's even softer than the Premier League. Now everyone says our game's gone, but you go in the Champions League, you can't breathe on anybody, and I think that's I don't know who gave an interview. I want to say, I don't remember who it was. And he basically said he got tackled twice in a game and he expected the centre-back to be sent off and turned around and the referee was like, play on, what you sit, get up off the floor. He said he couldn't believe it. I have to find if I dig the interview out. It made me laugh. I just thought he thought the man was going to get sent off for how hard the tackle was. And yet it was allowed to go on. So there's a lot to adapt to. But it's going to be an interesting game tomorrow night. We are going to talk about PSG and Bayern Munich in a few moments' time, but make sure you're smashing the like button right now, everybody. Subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. But what are your score predictions and result predictions? For the Chelsea game. I'll go to you first, Jem, on this.
I think they're going to score. I just got a feeling they're going to get a goal. I think it's going to be 2-1 Chelsea.
Anita?
Boy, that's a hard one. I'm going to go with 3-1 Chelsea. Yeah, I think 3-1.
3-1. David?
I'm going to go with 2-0. 2-0 again. Edu Mendy, top clean sheets in the Champions League. Golden Glove.
Look at that. And Daniel?
I think he'll be 3-1 as well, man. 3-1.
3-1. Frank Lampard here, not the Frank. By the way, Frank, I did see a video the other day, mate. Well done, you and Kieran Dyer, whoever it was. You know what I thought about when I saw that video? I was like, they act like young players now are being stupid. Like, imagine what we would see if players from Lampard's era backwards had camera phones and video. Like,
Wow.
back in the day, right? Nowadays, they obviously film that on purpose, having a laugh. But you know, like people now, they can sneakily film you just like holding it. Back in like their day, a cam recorder like this, you couldn't like walk around in a club with it and not be spotted. Like this thing was like walking back. No one will see me. Oh, they would have got caught doing so much madness here. It says comments out Kante starts tomorrow. Yes, Frank, we've seen that, my man. We've seen that. We have. There is another big game tomorrow night. And I bet, as Chelsea fans, are you a little bit gutted this game's going on at the same time as yours?
Listen, I'm not being funny. If we go 2-0 up in the first half, I'm watching the Bayern versus fucking PSG. I don't care. Like, obviously, Chelsea match going to be on my big screen, and I'm going to do what I did last time, Bayern PSG on my laptop. But boy, it is hard. When I tell you, I was darting like this. Like, every time I looked up, Mbappe scored. It's just, it's difficult. Like, I really wish they did the 1 week, one a day system, where one team will play one day and then the other team will play the Wednesday or something like that, and then the other set of teams will play the week after. Like, boy, they really robbed us. They really did us dirty. Why couldn't we be with Man City, Dortmund? I don't care about that game. I don't care.
Hey, I care about that game. I like it this way.
I'd rather watch Bayern versus PSG.
And the thing is, the Bayern PSG game, obviously I'm not saying that we're definitely free, but of course we look more through than most teams. And the Bayern PSG game is just nicely poised. Like, it's set up perfect for a perfect game. And you know how we always talk about Champions League games and we almost hype it up and then we don't get the game that we want. That PSG Bayern, that first leg was the game that we wanted. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the second leg could be even better. I'm like I did the last week. I'm gonna have both games on, man. Definitely.
Is Lewandowski out? Is he still out? Or?
No, I think he's out.
I think he's out.
So.
I don't think
I'm still going Bayern.
I
just think they're bottlers.
Well, I was going to ask that question. I mean, saying like PSG have a history in the Champions League of collapsing, although they did get to a final last year, but some would say didn't turn up. They had opportunities to win that game and they didn't do it. Where Jem's already said where his head's at. David, where's your head going with this? Obviously, you watch a lot of German football. Do you think Bayern Munich without Lewandowski can bounce back in this game, or are those 3 away goals just going to be too much for them to overturn?
As long as they finish their chances, they're fine. Honest, they made 4 XG last game. 4. Do you know how that's so? 4. That is mad. That is so mad. Unfortunately, they had man like Choupo-Moting up front. To be fair to him, he did score an absolute worldie of a header, but then also missed another like 3 or 4 sitters in the same game. You had like at the end Alaba with a shot and PSG pulling out some mad stops. However, there's this thing in me that's saying, even though I don't want Bayern to go through, they just will. They just have this thing where it's like, how many goals are we going to score today? We want 4, all right? If we score 4, we're pretty good. We'll score 4 today, no problem. It's just how it just seems to be how it is. It's just how literally there will be. They were 2-0 down. They were 2-0 down to Dortmund in 10 minutes, and me as like a fan of Dortmund was there. Like, we're still going to lose this game. I was so confident we were going to lose.
Right. It's kind of different gravy when you're playing PSG. Like, I don't think it's going to be that easy. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Bayern's going to give them such a game. I think Verratti's out. Marquinhos is out. That's a big factor for PSG. Like, that is huge. But at the same time, they've still got their goal scorer. They've still got Neymar. They've still got Mbappe, you know, that can easily, if Bayern are playing too high of a line, they can easily get in behind it. Easily, so it's not gonna be as clear cut and as easy as you think, bro. The way you're smiling,
but again, deep the goals that they scored. You had Boateng getting embarrassed, which is just the Champions League. That's like that should go in part. That happens once every year, really. That should be part of the output at this rate because it's awful. But you look at the first goal, and Neuer's just dived out of the way and left his legs open. The ball's gone through.
Yeah.
There's this thing where they're just going to be like, that's happened in the first leg. It don't happen again.
It's not happening
again.
I agree.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting for me because I watched the sort of extended highlights back. I don't know, about 14 minutes worth of highlights, which is really cool. PSG were lucky. They took their goals well on the counter-attack. Like, obviously, bad goalie keeping for the first one, terrible defending for Marquinhos' goal. But how Bayern Munich missed so many chances is beyond me. It's whether lightning can strike twice. I think PSG have got to stop them from being able to play. They can't allow 31 attempts on goal and 26 chances to be created again, because I don't see Bayern Munich missing that volume of chances again. So that's why I'm so intrigued by this game. It's on a knife edge.
One thing I will say is, and the reason why I have PSG is, and I kind of split it into three parts. Why I think PSG will win is because, one, when you have two of the top 5 best players in the world and the other team doesn't have their best player playing, I'm going to lean with you because you just have the best player, so you should do the job. 2, I spoke to one of my mates who supports Bayern, and he basically broke down, I believe they played Leipzig at the weekend, and they won 1-0, but they didn't really play well in that game, and obviously they played their strongest team. Leipzig actually dominated the ball and whatnot. And I just think that, and it's to the point that you made, Terry, in terms of can lightning strike twice. I think in the Champions League, you need luck. No one, in my opinion, I can't remember the last team, and even Bayern Munich included last year, I can't remember the last team that didn't need luck going through the whole way of the competition. Because in the final, I'm telling you now, Bayern Munich got lucky that PSG didn't finish their chances. I mean, lucky, yeah. I mean, Chelsea, of course, man. 2020 goal, we deserve it. PSG might get the luck that they need, and I just think that I'm not convinced by Bayern without Lewandowski. If Lewandowski was playing, I would be saying Bayern Munich for sure. But I'm not convinced, man. And I think
Daniel, you're forgetting that they've got Müller, mate. Müller.
I know.
Like Müller.
And Bayern Munich
player.
turn up for the big games. Bayern Munich turn up for the big games. But I just think, am I going with Müller, big game player, or am I going with Neymar and Mbappe? Because that's clearly what it's going to come down to.
Big game player.
Dan, I hear you. But listen to what you said, though, Dan. It really sets it up for this element of the conversation. With the better match winners or better players, with 3 away goals and a 1-goal lead going into this game, can Mauricio Pochettino's, I don't want to use the word legacy because he's got a long career ahead of him still, but that bottle tag is going to be ingrained, isn't it? If they throw this away with all the injuries, as the super chat there from Lengan Sweet says, no Koeman, no Goretzka, no Lewandowski, no Nicolas Sula, like all these players missing, the gold, everything says PSG should win. Does that not, when it comes to someone, PSG's pedigree in the tournament, coupled with the Spursiest of Spursy managers, doesn't that just football romance tells you PSG are going to lose it?
Yeah, of course it does. But also you can't think about the romance side of things without flipping it the other way. The holders, Bayern Munich, they turn up for the big games. They're always there. Muller's always the one who shows up and gets them out of a bad situation. They're going away from home. So you can do that same narrative with Bayern Munich as well, because they're the ones with the pressure, because they're the holders of the competition. They're the ones that everyone fears. And as soon as Bayern goes out, you're saying, who's going to win it? Do you know what I'm saying? Because Bayern is the safe pick. And let's not get it twisted. They're the holders. They're the best team. Once they go out, you're like, anyone can really win it. Like, anyone can win it. So,
not Liverpool, though. They're out. But anyone can. And it's such an intro. I mean, I'm going to have both on screens at the same time in my little studio here. I'm excited. Kids are getting put to bed. The door's getting locked. I'm putting earphones on to listen. I want to hear no distractions. I'm excited about it. I kind of want Paris Saint-Germain to go through for that reason, though. I want that open feel to this tournament where City have no pedigree of getting beyond really a quarterfinal with Pep Guardiola. You know, Chelsea 3 months ago, nobody would have even mentioned your names as contenders in the Champions League, and then suddenly, you know, you're one good performance away from a semi-final, and you're probably going to be up against Real Madrid, who are good, but they're not their potent best. It's so finely poised. It's so finely poised, isn't it? It really, really is. We have a little guest joining us now. Man like Igao is here.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Since you guys are Chelsea fans, and no, why are you making that face?
You know what? Every time there's something to do with Chelsea, a gal pops up.
No. This is a great thing. This is a great thing. This makes a lot of sense. Since Chelsea have a lot of Muslim players, I thought I might as well come in because this does affect you guys as fans. If you guys get to the late stages of Champions League, you'll have players like Hakim Ziyech, Kurt Zuma, Rudiger, Mendy, all Muslim players who will be most likely fasting or possibly even breaking their fast during the game. So as you guys know, this will affect their stamina, their energy. If it's an away game, most likely they won't have to do that because you are exempt if you're traveling away. And since this is the holy month of Ramadan, I thought I might as well gatecast the situation and just give everybody my hellos and say hi. And you know what? Ramadan Kareem, everybody.
Listen, congratulations, and hopefully Ramadan is good for you, bro. It's hard.
You can say Ramadan Mubarak. That's what you say.
That's what I say.
Ramadan Mubarak.
There we go.
Oh, you said congratulations.
He said congratulations. I was you know that second-hand embarrassment. Yeah, I was like, oh god, congratulations. What are you congratulating? It's not done yet.
It's all good. It's all good. But I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of athletes fast and sort of take part in Ramadan properly and still compete. I remember Amir Khan winning a world title in the middle of fasting.
Yeah.
Well,
Terry,
Mohamed Salah done a great job in it as well. Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a story every single day on my channel for the next 30 days talking about Muslim players in their sport who have taken on battles and gone into NBA finals, gone into major competitions. Even Benzema himself, guys like Muhammad Ali. You could even look at guys like Hakim Olajuwon, who changed his whole life and got 2 NBA championships fasting throughout the whole finals.
No, it's going to be an interesting. I suppose though, the question would be as well. I mean, I'm just looking here. I mean, PSG, I'm assuming have probably got a good sort of percentage of their players are Muslim. Chelsea, you already mentioned. I don't know if Real Madrid do. I just off the top of my head, Liverpool do. Liverpool definitely have a few. Dortmund again, I just don't know. David will know potentially.
I think maybe
Chan.
Memory
Yeah.
Chan.
I was going to say, I'm thinking
Oh,
maybe two or three in the whole squad.
Listen, if I did a combined 11 with the Premier League, I'll tell you this: Chelsea would probably have a bunch of starters with Mendy, Conte, Kurt Zuma, even
I
Rudiger.
think Liverpool too.
Liverpool with Mo Salah, Mane, and everybody else. You got Arsenal have, honestly, who do you have? Granit Xhaka right now? That's it. Everyone else is gone. But yeah, you can look. Everyone has them. Gundogan and Raheem Sterling, Hakim, Pogba with Manchester United. They're all over the place.
Question for you, Gal. I don't know the answer to it. If you're a professional athlete, could that lead you to? Are you allowed to not observe it and take part as part because of your job? If you were to turn around and say, "I'm not going to take part because of my job, my sport," is that acceptable?
At the end of the day, it's your own choice. It's between you and God. It's your own choice. No one's going to judge you. But what is common practice is if you're traveling away from home, it's understandable that you don't fast. If you are not traveling and you're at home and it's a home game, it's common practice for most players to fast and majority of the time, depending on what time the game is. So midday games, 12 o'clock games, 3 o'clock kickoffs, most likely they're going to be fasting. 8 o'clock Champions League games, it's just the time of sunset. So you most likely will be breaking your fast around that time.
Mm-hmm.
As we've seen, Conte broke his fast last year during a game. I think if you guys remember, he had like a little drink or something that he was drinking during the game.
This is very insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear that. In terms of the footballing side, because the one thing I grew up in the East End of London. I used to work with a lot of guys, like Muslim guys and girls, and I always enjoyed Ramadan because there was a kind of just, like Christmas, you just get that sort of sense of sort of like just joyous and everyone's sort of extra happy. I used to get that as well, especially when I worked in the East Ham branch of Barclays, and it was just I would say it was about 90% sort of Muslim staff population, and it was a really joyous occasion. Although it was a struggle day to day at sometimes when people were fasting, it is also the argument that it could boost teams that have a higher percentage of Muslim players because of what the month of Ramadan brings to you from a sort of a psychological point of view.
it brings to you a sense of focus and understanding of your task at hand, because you're basically getting rid of we're supposed to be off social media because there's a lot of things that can distract us from our focuses and our prayers and our good deeds in general. It takes you away from music, it takes you away from all the little things that you would look at as distractions in life, and it brings you back to your main thing. And for that 30 days, I know it sounds crazy that you don't drink water from sunset to sundown, you don't eat food from sunset to sundown, but it's actually it's almost like therapeutic.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I can understand that. I mean, I fasted 2 weeks. I tried to do it. I struggled. It nearly killed me, especially being at the time like 29. It's the first time I ever tried doing it. I got 2 weeks in, and I said to a few of the guys I worked with, I said, "Look, I'm not going to continue anymore." But it was hard. But I did feel like a sense of felt rewarded for it. Does that make sense? But I got utmost respect for anyone that fasts for whatever reason they do it for, especially religiously. It's
what they say? People with high blood pressures and everything else, it actually can benefit them throughout this time. So you think people with high blood pressure would actually it wouldn't benefit them to go without food or anything for that time, but it actually does benefit them. It's almost it's the biggest detox you could do in life. Yeah. And it does sound crazy that you eat at night and you binge eat at night, but you don't eat during the day. But surprisingly, eating during the day, you gain more weight than just eating that small portion at night, because you can't eat too much. You can't overeat, because you're going to have all this food in front of you, and you're going to be like, I want to eat everything, but you're not going to be able to eat all of it.
Bro, I used to love going out. If any of you work with anybody or have friends that are Muslim, you never gone out to eat or gone to someone's house to break off, like when they break fast, do it. Again, it's a lovely experience. It's just a really nice feel. I used to go out with some of the boys up. One of my friends, he owned a restaurant in Brick Lane. So we used to go out there, and I loved it. It was good. It was good times. Good times. Let
me give you some players. So you got Mo Salah, Mane, Hazard. You got Pogba, you got Amares, you got Kante. You could put a lot of different midfielders in there, but I put Ozil in there. You got Seyi Kolasinac, of course, Rudiger, Mendy, and Mendy at Man City. And then goalkeeper, I'm going to put Mendy for you guys, or Bravnik, because I think he's also Muslim. So that would be a combined 11 right there. Just some players you could name. You probably know Benzema. You know, obviously, Ribéry is Muslim. You know, a lot of the team, a French team, majority of the French team is actually Muslim. So imagine in the World Cup, there was times where people were fasting while they're playing in the World Cup.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember that as well.
It happens twice a year, isn't it?
No, Ramadan happens once a year. Eid happens twice a year, which is the equivalent to our Christmas.
Yeah,
I should know that, being Turkish.
And you guys know why we fast? Do you know why we fast? We fast to understand and appreciate what we have, and understand that there's people out there who don't have food and don't go through and can't eat whatever they want during the day, and sometimes they do starve themselves just to live. So it is one of the reasons, and also fasting is one of the 5 pillars of the religion. So that's also why we do it.
Yeah, it's a proper respectful thing, man.
I didn't come on here to slander Chelsea, believe me.
No.
Not so bad. Not so bad. Like, you proper gave me some proper insights. I think you were coming here to just talk shit. Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool.
I always tend to put up super chats, but Samuel, I'm not putting that one up because it's disrespectful. And I know you're not meant it in a disrespectful way, but it is, because I certainly didn't do that and wouldn't do that out of respect. I always put up everything. I know you're only joking, but I put up all super chats, but not that. I know you didn't mean it in a disrespectful way, but
not this time.
Yeah, there we go. Igao, in terms of the games, what's your head saying tomorrow?
Yo, Chelsea's gonna win it, man. No matter what, you know they're gonna win it. No, they're gonna move on to the next round. You guys are gonna move on to the next round. And then when it comes to Bayern PSG, honestly, I just rooting for PSG, man. I'm rooting for PSG to win this whole thing. I know I shouldn't be rooting for another team to win a Champions League before we do as Arsenal, but you know what? PSG, let them get their shine. I think they're going to beat Bayern, and you know what? It's just coincidence that last year in the final they were there. They could have won it, but they couldn't do it, and they get their revenge against them this time.
Yeah, they do. It's going to be an interesting one. In terms of everybody else, who's going through, PSG or Bayern, Jem?
Oh, come on. Well, after you rang out all them injuries, blimmin' no, I didn't know Goretzka wasn't playing as well. No, I'm still going Bayern. I just think they've got a bottler of a manager, and the club as well. I just think, that look, I want to keep it short and sweet. PSG haven't won a Champions League before. They've got a manager that likes bottling things. It's just a potion made for it to just go boom. And I just think Bayern Munich are going to get the job done, 100%.
David?
Head says PSG for the story. No. Head says Bayern, but for the story, I'd love to see Tuchel versus PSG in the final. So,
Daniel, maybe we kind of said you're still sticking with PSG.
PSG, man. Look, Hansi Flick's got one head in Germany as well because he's going to go manage the national team after the season. So he's tired, man. He's done his job at Bayern. He's won his Champions League. He can rest, man. PSG to go through.
Neats.
Fam, I just don't know where the confidence for Bayern is. Like, I don't know where it's coming from. I just can't see
European champions.
we were once European champions. How the fuck did that go?
Yeah,
Liverpool,
come on,
Liverpool were European champions. They got knocked the hell out by Atletico. You know what I mean? Like this shit happens. It happens. Like I'm not because Lewandowski's not playing. Yeah,
Facts.
like I just don't see it happening. And we're talking about all the shots Bayern Munich had in the last game, right? And it's like, as Chelsea fans, we are ones to know that means nothing. Like, if you haven't got luck, that means jack shit. It doesn't mean nothing. They can go into the second leg with 100 shots. If they only bang one, then they're not going through. You know, like it's. I don't know. I've seen this.
You're heavily dissing Thomas Müller, man. I'm telling you now.
I'm not dissing Thomas Müller. Is one of my favorite players. He's one of my favorite players. But think about it this way: do you think Bayern Munich can potentially keep a clean sheet? Do you think they're going to keep a clean sheet?
Yeah.
I could see him. I could see him doing it. I could see him doing it.
Not with Schüller playing at the back.
They've got to turn up though, yeah.
What's wrong with Schüller? What's wrong with Hold
He's slow, man.
He's injured and he's not slow. No, this is actually
he's not slow, but he turns like a brick.
He does turn like a brick, but he ain't slow. Literally, he's got no acceleration.
He says like Robbie in that AFTV music video. Do you know what I mean?
He's got no acceleration, but he apparently, according to all the Bayern players, and when you see him run at full sprint, he's rapid, but he's not playing anyway. But they've got Alaba there. But apparently, Boateng is playing.
You haven't got Verratti or Marquinhos. What are you talking about?
Apparently, Verratti might be back.
Players out.
Yeah, I've heard he might be back.
Verratti's probably not going to start. He's coming back from COVID. He needs to recover, to be fair. But I personally think PSG will not lose this. They're not going to lose. This ain't Barcelona.
They've got coming into midfield. Herrera.
They ain't
Herrera.
Huh?
Look,
who comes into that midfield if Verratti's not fit? Herrera.
Jem, what it is for me, look. When there are so many injuries on both teams, I'm going with the team that just has the best players. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've got two of that. They've got two of the top 5 best players in the world. We're talking about guys that are going for the Ballon d'Or. Like, do you know what I'm saying? That high level talent. And you want me to go for a team that are missing their best player and relying on a big game player in Muller, who is quality, don't get it twisted. But listen, I'm just going to go with PSG, man.
They have the best player in the world. Listen, the best player in the world right now is not anyone else besides Mbappe. Mbappe is the best player in the world.
Yes.
Everybody else?
Whoa, now.
Mbappe. That's what it is for me.
I'm not having this.
Back it up.
No, seriously. Listen, no. Just based on his trajectory, based on his trajectory alone, you can see where he's headed. Man. What?
Apart from the two girls, obviously,
Lewandowski.
That is fit. That is fit.
Nah, Lewandowski is not superior.
No, but
Lewandowski is not superior to Mbappe in any way. When you look at Lewandowski's longevity in career, yes, he is. But when it comes to as a footballer right now, I am taking Mbappe over Lewandowski.
No, you're not. Igal.
Listen, you put Mbappe in Bayern system, he's scoring the same amount of goals as Lewandowski, maybe more.
That's not true. I don't like when people say that. Do you not realize, what Lewandowski is doing right now? Lewandowski has, I think his foot, like he's already on like 40 or 35 goals in 20 something games.
He's got. I think he's got.
Hugo
36
Moting looked like a 10 out of 10 in that Bayern team last week.
No,
that's not the
Miguel.
point.
You're missing the
Even in
point.
the Champions League last year. Imagine, if he got to play 2 legs every single year last year, he would have broken the goals record that Messi and Ronaldo that were easily breaking year in, year out. If he got to play 2 legs, he would have broken that because he basically reached that.
Okay, so are you arguing Lewandowski is the best player in the world?
No.
Besides Messi, actually, I think Ronaldo has declined a
Messi's
bit.
done, bro.
No, Lewandowski.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Where are you getting this from? That's not true.
No,
Messi's got 29 goals.
No. Listen. There's something called voters fatigue. We can't constantly keep giving this guy Ballon d'Or.
No,
we can't constantly keep giving this guy the top award.
No. Miguel. See, voters fatigue shouldn't be the reason why you discredit someone. That's you. That's your thinking and your mentality. Messi's still performing at a world class. In fact, what's he at world class level?
And how are you discounting Mason Mount, Agal? This is a madness, brother.
Right,
Sorry. No, listen, look, Mbappe is amazing. Mbappe and Haaland are flying, but they're just a step down from Lewandowski, Kane, Messi, even Ronaldo. I mean, these guys are just they're all scoring at the same sort of levels and rates, but they've been doing it for a little bit longer. Mbappe, just in terms of overall play, of course, there's things that Mbappe can do that Lewandowski can't, that Kane can't, that Ronaldo now can't do. But it's about consistency. And the one thing, Champions League-wise, Mbappe delivers. Until I can't call Mbappe the best player in the world until I see him doing it regularly in one of the top 5 leagues. I'm not doing the whole, he's got to come to the Prem to do it. He's got to go La Liga, Serie A, Germany or England, and kill it domestically at the same time. You can't just be very good in the Champions League and not good domestic and not potent domestically. You can't do that. You have to be able to do both, in my opinion. Barring the original Ronaldo, he wasn't particularly good in the Champions League. But in terms of
Mbappe has 21 goals in the league for PSG in France. Right, Lewandowski's got 35. He's missed 4 weeks of the league. And he's got 35. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's
He's 5 away from breaking Muller's record of 40 in the league. 40 in a league of 34 games. 34. They don't even play 38. 34. No.
Yeah, and for me, I understand. Mbappe's going to be like Mbappe or Haaland. I think we're going to see it like every year. We're going to see this, but they're just not quite there. And I don't even mean it disrespectfully. What's your top 3 number 9 strikers? He's Lewandowski, Kane, Benzema. Who would be your top 3 strikers, Enigal, in the world right now?
Listen, I just count Mbappe as an overall player, like as a forward. So are you saying top 3 forwards or just strikers? Because Mbappe's
number 9 strikers.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9 strikers, it would be Kane, Lewandowski, and then after that, it gets tough. Who else is there?
Cavani.
Haaland, man.
Suarez is still there. Suarez.
Cavani.
No, I ain't putting Suarez yet.
No.
I'm probably gonna put Mbappe.
Tammy.
I'm probably gonna put Mbappe.
Terry, go away. Terry, go away.
No, I'm probably gonna put Mbappe. So it's gonna be Kane, Lewandowski, and Mbappe.
Wait. Hold on. Is Kane above Lewandowski?
No. It's in no particular order.
Okay, no particular order. Okay.
Listen, Haaland and Mbappe should not be spoken about in the same sentence. Period.
Wait, why?
Period.
Why?
Haaland needs to continue to do this for another 2-3 years before he can be spoken about in the same breath as a guy who's won the World Cup. Mbappe has won his league, his domestic league, every single season that he's been a full-time
He plays for flipping
player.
PSG. He plays for PSG.
Bro, he won the league with Monaco. He won the World Cup with France.
No, that's fair enough.
It's not
To
the
be
top
fair,
level.
wait a sec. There is context to what Igal's saying here. When you actually deep it, Mbappe's won a lot more than what Haaland has in his career. Haaland may score goals. Like
Is
Harry
it
Kane
Haaland's
scores
fault
goals.
that he's not French?
But it's
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Wait. What
What
he's
I'm
saying,
saying-
and until he takes that next big step in his career, i.e., a bigger team that is actually winning things within his career.
Okay, so on that logic. Well, you put Harry Kane in the top 3 in the world. He ain't won anything.
No.
But I think Harry Kane.
Gal, where my problem is with what you said, mate, is this. I think it's fair to say I put Mbappe above Haaland because Mbappe's won World Cups, he's won league titles, he's won trophies. But it's where you said can't talk to him. That's like you've done the football terraces. You're the new Have Hope, where Have Hope did this. Messi's here, Hazard's there, Cristiano Ronaldo is below the floor. You've just done that. It's a madness.
Can Aubameyang talk to Mbappe?
No,
right? No, right? Okay. So if you, my point is, longevity and consistency throughout your career gets you to where Mbappe, Lewandowski, Kane are with their status in football.
Yeah,
Haaland has done it in 2 leagues, and you know what? I don't really rate the first league that he was in. What was it? Austrian league?
Austrian, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't rate the Austrian league. When it comes to Bundesliga, he's scoring those goals, but the same amount of goals, he's not scoring at the rate.
At the end of the season where you won the FA Cup, did you think Aubameyang was better than Kane?
No. I never thought Aubameyang was better than Kane. I never said that. No. To be fair, I never said that. I've always said I thought he was a better finisher, but Haaland, Kane is a better all-around footballer than Aubameyang.
Striker. Who's the better striker?
But you still chose Aubameyang over Kane,
striker, because we don't even play Aubameyang as striker sometimes. We play him out wide.
I'm talking about the end of the FA Cup.
Listen, you're not going to catch me out on this one. I've already said numerous times Kane is superior to Aubameyang.
I'm not even trying to catch you out. I just feel like, again, it's the extremity. Like, I think Bruno Fernandes is the best attacking midfielder in the Premier League. That's my view. I don't say KDB can't chat to him. KDB's only breathing down his neck every single second of the day.
But there is context to what I'm saying. Haaland has not done it for long enough. Haaland has not won a World Cup. Haaland has not won every single league title campaign that he's been involved in.
Name me 7 Norway players. Go.
I can only name you like 4.
Okay, but the winning the league thing, sometimes it's about your journey, isn't it? Like, if he hadn't have left for Dortmund when he did, I think he would have won a league title last year. You don't respect that. Listen, for me, I don't see much difference in the Austrian level league and the French league. Do you know what I mean? One team. Yeah. At the end of the
development of players that come out of those leagues.
Oh, I do understand that. Like, it is a better league. I'm being flippant, but I think when you talk about 2 young players, give them time. They give Haaland time. If Haaland goes on to a bigger team and in 3 or 4 years he isn't winning anything, maybe you've got a conversation. But equally, you will see Mbappe potentially win less depending on who he goes to next. If he goes to an English team like Liverpool, is he going to win the league every year? No.
Listen, you know what Haaland is? Haaland is Lukaku if he never played in the Premier League and he has a whole career outside of the Premier League.
No, don't say that. No, don't do that.
Wow.
You guys have Haaland on this big pedestal when you guys when you guys are looking at his actual statistics and what he's accomplished, he's basically another Lukaku.
What do you mean looking at his statistics? What about his statistic tells you that this guy is not destined to be a world-class player?
What looking at Lukaku's statistics when he was coming up, same thing.
I'm sorry.
Want to be a world-class player. What is that about his statistics? I'm so confused. Isn't his conversion rate crossing like 50% or something?
He's the fastest player to score the Champions League goals in history.
I'm very curious how it compares with Lukaku. It doesn't really compare.
It doesn't. We're living in the moment, guys. We're living in the moment.
We need to get in the moment.
Gal, let me give you the moment.
What is he on?
Haaland is the fastest player ever to, I want to say it's 100 career goals ever in the history of European football. No one else got to say that he's just doing what Lukaku did. Is fact. It's not about
Lukaku.
No. Sorry. I'm sorry, Gal. You can't even make the comparison because it's factually untrue. If Haaland has reached 100 goals in light speed faster than anybody else, it means no one has done what Haaland has done ever before. He is the trailblazer here. He is the trendsetter. He's the pacemaker. No one's ever done what Haaland has done right now. Now he's got to add trophies to it.
It's a fair comparison, though.
It's not a fair comparison.
It's not.
It is. My point is, Lukaku's statistics in the Premier League for Everton and everywhere else that he was up until his point where he got that move to Manchester United was respected, highly respected, but never on the level of Haaland. If he was doing this at Dortmund and he was doing this abroad, his whole career,
it wasn't the same level because all them goals he was scoring, okay, when he was at West Brom, and Everton. Where were his 20 goals in like 18 Champions League games?
He didn't get a chance to play in the Champions League for
Hang
those
on,
teams.
whoa. But you turned around and said, "Have a go at him for not winning a World Cup." How's it his fault? He ain't French.
No, I didn't have a go at him. I said longevity of career. You cannot compare the two, Mbappe and Haaland, which is factually
What do you
correct.
mean longevity? They're teenagers.
Then why are you comparing Mbappe to Lewandowski when Lewandowski's got 10 years of experience backing him?
I don't get it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't understand.
Okay, I'm catching myself out in certain arguments, but you guys do hear the comparison. You guys do get the comparison. Then. Lukaku and Haaland. My point is, I feel like Haaland is being overhyped for the level of achievement that he has received, which is outstanding, but it's being overhyped. It's being overhyped slightly too much, which is true. I feel like there's a level of defense for Haaland from you guys, because I know you guys seem like you guys are going to sign him, and you're already defending the player before he comes in.
If you've broken a record
from last season.
Yeah,
and the thing is, you're talking about. Sorry, Daniel. You're talking about being hyped over a guy, and it's too early. But he's breaking records.
Yeah.
Why would you be hyped over somebody who is breaking records?
Listen, there was once an American guy who was compared to Messi.
Saying, do you remember Messi? Do you remember when Messi was breaking records? And when Messi came into La Liga and came into Barcelona's first team, and everyone was already hyped about him. Was that premature?
No, it wasn't. But you know what? What was premature? There was an American guy who destroyed him.
Please don't I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've got to interject here. You're right, Daniel. It isn't the same thing, and it isn't the same thing. If Freddie Adu had came to Europe at 18 years of age, and in his first, and I'm going to read it out here, in his first 130 games at 132 goal contributions, then it would have been a fair comparison to say, have we found the new superstar? Freddie Adu was just on trial, bruv. And a comparison, that's stupid. Like when you see a 30-second clip of some dude who's like 12 on the internet and we say the new Messi, then that's stupid. Like, I'll give you an example. The Ahmad comparison, calling him the Ivorian Messi, is stupid because we've barely seen Ahmad kick a ball. But if Ahmad had played 30 games and had 37 goal contributions, it wouldn't be mad because he delivered something. Haaland has delivered.
Haaland has delivered.
Guys, I've got to go anyway. I'll see you in a bit ago. You've made
38 goals in 36 games this season. Apparently, this guy is Romelu Lukaku.
No. It's not an insult. It's not an insult. It's actually a compliment to Lukaku.
It leans towards the insult side because you're basically saying that he shouldn't be overhyped. He should be hyped the same way Lukaku was hyped, or Lukaku deserved more hype because he was doing a lot more.
Go look at Lukaku's stats. He deserves more hype.
He has the quickest 100 goals or something like that. Stats like that. And of course, those are great stats. And no one's saying that Lukaku isn't a great striker, but it's the fact that you're saying that we should lessen Haaland's praise and almost you're indirectly saying we
put
should
it in perspective. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think you can put into perspective the fact that Haaland is breaking records and should be overhyped.
Again,
you know what's interesting about
Lukaku's record?
Sorry, go on.
Lukaku's record of goals in league ever in his whole career is 25 at Everton in 37 games. Haaland this year has 23 in 21 games. Okay, these guys are not on the same level. And he's only played in the league for 1.5 seasons.
Let me put this into perspective for you. So this is the top 5 players, according to ESPN, games taken to reach 100 career goals. Ronaldo, 301, which isn't mad because he started as a proper right winger in the past. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 245. Messi, 210. And Mbappe took 180 games to get to 100 career goals. Haaland has done it did it in 146 games. Like it's absolutely.
How long did it take Lukaku?
I'm trying to find that. Lukaku. Let me just put Lukaku.
Well, it's got to be more than 400.
Unless sometimes they miss people out on that. Comparing who scored. No, that's Premier League goals. I want more goals than that. I want all goals. Lukaku joins 100 club. See, that's annoying because I don't want that stat. I want in all comps. I I don't know. It keeps giving me giving me the Premier League goal count. So that would have been sooner than that. I don't know. I'll have to sort of search that and find it. But I thought it would have been on the list if he was there. But yeah, look, he's very, very good. And no one's disrespecting anyone. But what Haaland's doing, or what you've got to understand, Miguel, and I mean this wholeheartedly, we have seen in European football, forget England, European football, we have seen Ronaldo's, original Ronaldo's, Zlatan's, Messi's, Cavani, Suarez's, all come here as teenagers or very, very young and play their games. A lot of these guys made their debuts here. Not one of them has scored as many goals as Haaland has in his first 140 odd games as a professional football player. You've got to wonder what Haaland is doing is the new bench. And if Haaland continues scoring at this rate and has a long career, he'll become the greatest goal scorer in the history of our game.
You want to know something, Terry? He won't.
We're hyping it.
He won't. You know why? Because the goals are just going to be becoming more and more normal. We're going to be seeing more and more high-scoring games. And you know what? There's going to be another young buck coming up scoring more goals because the system is just becoming more easy to score goals in these games. It's not that the players are becoming better. It's not that the defenses are becoming worse. It's becoming the game is being more high-scoring games lately. And you're going to see that with the level of style in the Bundesliga. Timo Werner himself has shown that, you know what, scoring goals is not hard in that league. And you know what, it's not that hard anymore in football anyways.
Now that you said that, two things. Do you know what? I'll even put it in a way that you obviously get because you watch basketball. If you look at the NBA right now, you're seeing the top seven of the 10 teams in terms of offensive efficiency are currently playing right now. And that's because offenses are getting better in the NBA,
Yeah.
Cool. But until the first team that did it last year, which were the Dallas Mavericks, did it, and they were the only team, so they had the highest offensive efficiency in the history of the NBA. Until they did it, that's when everyone said, wow, that's a great stat. It's the same thing with Russell Westbrook. He broke the triple-double record. He got the MVP. But now everyone gets triple-double, so it's not seen as a big thing now. Do you know what I'm saying? But until the first person does it, then that person gets credit. Haaland has done it.
Let me change this into football, though.
Doing it.
Change this into football. If tomorrow teams stop taking pop shots and they take all their shots inside the box, XG is going to be broken because their chances of those shots going in are going to be a lot easier, right?
No, because if everyone stops taking shots from outside the box, they'll pack the box and you won't be able to take a shot inside the box. So XG would go down, okay? You have to think, Igal. It's not that simple. Why? My head.
I feel like David's over it.
My head. Honestly,
listen, anyways, I came in peace. I'm picking Chelsea to win.
You came in peace and ended in violence.
Nah, you guys chose violence. I chose logic.
No, Igal, you chose the violence. You definitely chose the violence. I think we can close off this conversation.
I've got Lukaku's stats up to 94 goals. It's hard then. I don't know the breakdown in the next season of how long it took him to get it. It's just of 94 goals for a minute because that gives us a nice round number. So it took him 48 plus 38 plus 38 plus 15 plus 98. It took Lukaku 237 games to get to 94 goals. And that includes his Anderlecht career. So I've even put that league into it as well. So it's almost not 100 goals. It's taken him nearly 100 games more. It's nearly 100 games more.
60-70% more times.
Yeah. So and that's just putting it into perspective. And it's not even discounting Lukaku's quality, bruv. It's just you have to understand what Haaland's done. It's why I rate Sancho so much. What Sancho has done, his first 130 career games. Period, anywhere. Man's got like nearly 100 goal contributions as an inside forward. I don't think people understand how ridiculous that is. Like it's off the Richter scale in terms of what he's done. He's played 130 games in all competitions, I think, for Dortmund. That's from his career debut, and he's got like 96 goal contributions or whatever. It's mad.
Who the hell's that?
I don't know why my avatar was Samuel. I'm sorry.
Samuel.
Oh, is that what you talk about? I thought you were talking about the Sancho thing. I was like, why are you also shocked about Sancho? I was
listen. You guys have chosen your side of the argument. I've chosen my side of the argument. I don't think neither of us are going to meet in the middle.
Danny here says Igal is spot on.
And I was going to say, I wish Danny was here because if I just want to hear what he would say because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in my opinion.
Send me the link if you can come on.
I want to understand where you're coming from, but I really don't. I honestly don't.
How was this preview gone to flipping Haaland debate anyway?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know really. Someone said Lukaku did it in 216 games, not by my math. But there we go. Maybe I'm adding that up. So was that 3? Maybe it's a few less, but definitely well over 200 anyway. Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, a massive thank you to each of you. We're back tomorrow with more content. Morning show. The afternoon show will be previewing Liverpool versus Real Madrid and Man City versus Dortmund. So make sure you're tuning in for that. And of course, we're going to be live after the Champions League games tomorrow night. So stay with us. Hit that like, Terry. Why don't people give Benzema his credit? We're going to talk about Benzema on tomorrow night's show because we are going to give him credit because that brother deserves it because he is astounding. One of the top 5 Champions League strikers of all time. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you